This little video is about these two sequencers and their relationship to this oscillator. And a little workaround I figured out to get this one to do what I want to do. So a brief summary is that a sequencer is just a device that plays notes in order. So this one has 8 notes available, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you adjust them with these little knobs. You turn it up to get a higher note, you turn it down to get a lower note, and basically you're just using voltages. So higher voltages means higher notes, lower voltages means lower notes, and you send that voltage over to the oscillator. So the oscillator just plays one continuous note unless you sequence it, and then it plays a melody, right? Okay, what I have here is an itty-bitty oscilloscope that's measuring the voltage that's coming out of each one of these steps. And I'm holding it very precariously with these fingers, so it's jittery. It's because of me. But you can see each one of these little pulses is when it's sending out a different voltage level. And to see what that looks like over here on the oscilloscope, I'm going to change. So real quick, the voltages on each one of these steps is coming out of here and into this oscillator, and I'm measuring it with this cable. I think that's pretty clear. See how the wavy lines get closer together and farther apart when the steps change? That means the frequency of the signal is getting higher or lower. This is a low frequency. It's getting a little higher here. It's about the same there and quite high there. So now I will plug that into the mixer so you can hear what that looks like. So usually on this little sequencer here, I can control how many steps there are. If I want 5 steps, I just highlight them and then it goes through them. It goes back to 1. Right? But on this one, it's a kind of a simple sequencer, so I didn't expect that kind of function. But on this one, it's got all these numbers, all these words. I thought maybe there'd be a function where I could just say, no, I don't want to do all 16. I just want to do 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back up to 1. Couldn't figure it out. I looked in the manual and everything. Couldn't find it. So, luckily, there is another function called the reset function on both of these. And I'll bring it closer to show you. See, right there. Reset in, and this one says reset. So the way you reset it is you send a little burst of energy from something like a clock. So this clock is the thing that's going to be the magic bullet that solves my problems. So I'm going to send a little pulse out of this clock up to this sequencer that will reset it after a certain number of pulses. Let's say I only want to do 8 steps. I set this to 8 pulses, and when it gets to 8 steps, it gets a fire, boom, and it goes back up to 1. So that's how I solved that. But it gets better. Because this little oscillator has a little function called expo, which is basically a transposition function. So, like in real music, if you want to transpose, let's say you have a melody in the key of C, you're playing on the piano, and you want to play it higher in the key of D, you want to shift it up, but you want to keep that melody the same. This allows you to send a voltage that will increase, that will shift it up or down according to how much voltage you give it. So that's what this sequencer does. I have this one set for a certain amount of voltages, and every 16, let's see, yeah, after every 16 steps, this will move from one step to the other step, and it increases or decreases the tones. One more detail I forgot to mention. So each one of these patch points leads to a different sequencer, or to this little guy right here, to the expo, and they're numbered on this screen. So this one is one time every beat it sends out a pulse. Same with that one. But that one every 16 times. Okay? So, oh, and what is this one? Number 5? That's number 5. Number 5 goes up to this. So this is the cable after every 8 steps it sends to reset. So that is, oh yeah, and number 4 is every 64. So that is what I will use to reset this. And every 64 would be 3 steps, and then it would reset. So I'll plug that in a few seconds after we've gone through this demonstration. Okay. So let's start the clock. Start the clock. And watch this. It's going to go through 8 and then back up to 1. So that reset works. That's number 5. Now I'm going to set the expo, the transposition. So that's sending, now it's sending a voltage from this step, and now it's sending a voltage from this step. And it's going to go through all 8 steps eventually, because I haven't set it to reset yet. This little cable's still unplugged. So it's going to go through all these. And each of them, you see, it's set at a different voltage level. So it's changing that one note up or down according to how deep or high the note I want it to be. That's high. And look, I can change it in the middle. Right? So I'm going to plug this in, and this is going to reset it after 64 steps. So that's going to be a long time to sit and watch this go round and round. So I'll just wait until 64 have passed, and you'll watch number 2 light up. And there we go. So that's boring. But what if I had an actual melody? Well, I will switch to a different channel that I've set up. There we go. Let's record that because that sounds pretty. Hi, I just wanted to pause here for a few seconds. I did manage to get my laptop to work, so I'm going to record a better version of the sequence. But I wanted to clarify a point I made earlier about real music, because obviously it's real music, it's musical sounds in the air, it's real. But I was thinking about, at the moment I was thinking about a video I had just watched by a gentleman named Richard Charles, who was discussing imposter syndrome, especially regarding people who play modular synthesizers. Because it seems like we're just fiddling around with sound and it's not really making bona fide compositions. So I would recommend that video if you get a chance to watch it. The point I was trying to make with that comment was that I didn't actually tune my oscillators and I wasn't really paying attention to creating an actual melody. I just wanted to demonstrate how the sequencer worked. So when I transposed the melody, it didn't sound good. It didn't sound like an actual transposition. And also, I do know something about music. I am a real musician. When you transpose something, what you're doing is you're actually shifting the position of the melody, the whole melody, up or down, and preserving the intervals. And that's what this does. I mean, obviously it's a computer. It's got the intervals locked in. They're all like right there. So the intervals have been preserved. They're just not the most pleasant sounding intervals so far, but I think I found a nice one. So I will continue on with a better recording of this sequence to end this video. Thanks for watching.